Let's dive in to why I fasted for 72 hours. All right, so I just completed my first 72-hour fast, and I'm gonna explain why I did it, the scientific backing of why fasting is so beneficial for you, the struggles I had during it, all of the things, all the questions that someone may have about why somebody would fast for that long, literally 3 days. Last meal I had was Tuesday at 5 p.m. and I just had my first meal since then on Friday at 5 p.m. And I'll tell you this, it felt weird. It felt weird to eat food again. It was almost like I had to think about it when I hadn't had to think about it for 3 days, which is something I've literally never done in my whole entire life. The longest stint I had was 24 hours, and that was like 2 weeks ago. I mean, besides other times of my life, but self-willingly I'll say, is 24 hours, and that was 2 weeks ago. And that was my first time playing with it for an extended period of time. I fast about 16 to 20 hours every single day on a normal day-to-day basis. For the past 2 weeks I've been doing this. I joined a community called Anime Shreds. If you guys don't know Nate Belmar, I would look into why you would fast for that long and why you would do it every day, because there are some extreme benefits, and I'm gonna go over some of them in this video. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty new to all this. So I asked ChatGPT. I actually first had a conversation with an AI, which is insane that we can even say that's possible. But yeah, I had a conversation with ChatGPT, and it gave me some good questions to answer because I went for a walk after my meal. If you guys don't know the benefits of walking after you eat, your cholesterol levels, I can explain that in a further video. Yeah, I was on my walk after a meal, and I was thinking and writing down questions, and they just didn't hit. I got back and I didn't like what I had come up with and whatnot. So I asked ChatGPT to give me some questions, and I'm going to answer these questions for you guys right now. So let's dive in to why I fasted for 72 hours. All right, so the first thing I want to touch on is why I did this in the first place. My motivation, I joined this community about 2 weeks ago, and I saw hundreds, if not thousands, of other people asking questions about it, doing it, telling their stories about what they went through when they fasted for an extended period of time. And when I mean that, when I say that, I mean like 48 hours or more. Because 24 hours, every single one of you watching this video could fast for 24 hours. If you can't do that, you're addicted to food. And that was a problem I had. That was another motivation I had, was I have an addiction to eating food because I enjoy the taste. I enjoy sugar. I have a very sweet tooth. I always have growing up. I ate a lot of sweets. I ate terribly growing up. So that's one reason I'm so big on why I should be eating better, because I know that to increase my longevity, I'm going to need to adjust the way that I'm ingesting and what I'm ingesting, what I'm putting in my body. It's the gas for your car, this is the vehicle, and what we feed it, what we put inside of it is our fuel. So I realized that, and I decided I'm going to invest in myself every single month with this community. I'm going to pay dollars that I work for in exchange for the knowledge. Yeah, mental clarity through the roof. Not to say that mental clarity was through the roof, but my mental real estate, I was able to lock in. I was able to focus on things. I didn't have to worry about when I'm gonna eat, what I'm gonna eat. All of these things that we think about so constantly daily, I didn't even have to think about it once. I just knew, okay, I'm gonna go grab some water, or I'm gonna drink some kombucha. Kombucha is such a great filler for a meal. And not to say that it gives you all the nutrients you need and all of the things that come with eating a meal, because obviously we need food to survive, right? But how much and when all of these factors come into play, like when you should eat, how much you should eat, what you should be eating, while fasting, you don't really have to think about it. So kombucha was great on an empty stomach. The carbonation almost fills you up alone. You kind of feel not full, but you have the energy to push through. And another reason that I tried this out was my cravings have always been terrible. It could be 9 p.m., 11 p.m., 12 a.m., first thing in the morning. I've always craved sugar, donuts, cookies. I mean, you name it. I've always had a craving for things like that. And I wanted to break that barrier in my mind. I wanted to reprogram that. So I would stop having these cravings so constantly, because if I don't eat for 3 days, then I'm not thinking about food, and then my cravings start to go away. I'm starting to crave things like kombucha and my morning coffee, my morning mushroom coffee, which is a whole nother video. But yeah, you know, you don't just quit things, you replace them. I learned this in Atomic Habits. It's a book. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest going and giving it a read. I mean, I'm sure there's an ebook out there. Like, you can do it. You can go read a book, you know? Personally, when I dropped out of college, I said, I have to keep learning. So I started picking up books. Atomic Habits was one of the best books that I picked up. And what I learned from that was to replace a bad habit, or to get rid of a bad habit, you have to replace it with a good one. You can't just drop a bad habit. And in the beginning, you almost want to take that bad habit and give yourself a time period. Like, say you're trying to cut your cravings out. Give yourself, okay, I have to hit the gym, I have to wake up, I have to drink water, I have to do all these things, and then I get to have this craving at this time of day. After I do these things, you have a checklist almost, and then that craving becomes less and less. So cravings was a big one for me. I've always had cravings growing up, so I wasn't really raised the best way in terms of health and all the things that go into health. So yeah, that was huge. Some of the toughest moments I had within hunger, it wasn't too bad. I wasn't hungry after the first 24 hours. The hunger kind of went away, and my mindset sort of shifted into this realm of, okay, I'm not worried about this. I know I'm fine. I can feel it. I'm not gonna pass out right now. I'm not gonna need to go get an IV shot from the hospital, you know? And to deal with those things, I drank things like yerba mate, which is a natural herb drink, a natural herbal drink, I would say, a natural tea. I'd look into yerba mate if you don't know what that is. It's a great energy source, especially while fasting. And I did things like mushroom coffee mixed with Colombian black silk in the morning with some honey in there, a dash of milk, just to enjoy it a little more. Also learning things like replacing my sugar with honey, huge. I don't crave sugar as much. I honestly crave honey more than I crave sugar nowadays, which is extremely beneficial, I guess you could say. I would say after the first 24 hours, within the 24 hour to 72 hour phase, I felt more fatigued than I thought I would because I was drinking so much water. I didn't think I would feel so fatigued. I thought I would, if I stayed hydrated, if I drank the herbal drinks, if I, did the right things throughout the process, which, mind you, I didn't research very much about this. I just kind of dove into it because that's what I like to do with anything. I like to experience it, learn from my experience, and then, okay, what can I learn from this and how can I grow for the next time that I do this? So the fatigue hit me and it was kind of unexpected, but I just pushed through. It's a mindset at that point. You have to push through with your brain, ignore your body, ignore what your body is telling your mind, and just get through what you need to step by step. Take it one step at a time, and the time will go by. If you stop worrying about it, like I look forward to 5 p.m. on Friday, like I can't say that I look forward to it. I have to look forward to, okay, when I get home, I look forward to this drink. I look forward to this natural tea. I look forward to hitting the gym. And that's another thing is I worked out all 3 days while doing this. Definitely proving myself wrong in a lot of aspects, and I highly suggest you try it. It's unbelievably beneficial. In terms of the mindset shift you have, and I mean the health benefits that come with this are just unbelievable. So yeah, let's get into the health benefits. So I'm not too keen on memorization, I guess you could say, within this realm. I'm pretty fresh to all this, so I got some definitions that I'll read to you guys, so you don't have to go look them up yourself because I know that's so hard. So some health benefits are improved metabolism. So one of the health benefits is autophagy. Autophagy is a natural process by which cells degrade and recycle their own components. The term comes from the Greek words meaning self-eating. During autophagy, cells break down damaged or unnecessary parts, such as proteins and organelles, into simpler molecules. These molecules can then be reused to create new cellular components or provide energy. Autophagy is crucial for maintaining cellular health and function. It helps remove damaged or malfunctioning cellular components. This includes misfolded proteins and damaged organelles. Regulate metabolism by recycling cellular materials. Autophagy contributes to energy balance and adaptation to various stress conditions. Prevent diseases. Proper autophagy is linked to reduced risk of various diseases, including cancer, neurodegenerative disorders, and infections. The health benefits are, right there. Some people could care less. They're cool with eating their McDonald's and their Taco Bell and their Sonic, which, I have nothing against. You live your life the way I want to. I live that life. I choose this life every time. So, yeah, extreme health benefits. Now I'll explain some of the scientific backing. Some long-term benefits contribute to longevity, reduced inflammation, decreased risk in chronic diseases, and improved overall health. So, ketogenesis has a lot to do with your glucose. So, when fasting, glucose, the primary energy source, decreases, and the body starts breaking down stored fats to produce ketones, which serve as an alternative energy source for cells, especially the brain. Fasting introduces mild stress to cells, which can enhance their ability to cope with stress and improve their resilience over time. Fasting shifts cellular energy metabolism from relying on glucose to using fatty acids and ketones. This shift can lead to improved energy efficiency and mitochondrial function. Yeah, I know I just read that off my phone. These are brand new terms for me, so I hope that when you watch this is to just look into things like this. Be interested. Ask why. Why are people doing this? Why is there communities around the world so intrigued by this? And I think it has a lot to do with our DNA. I feel, I don't know this, but based off of how I feel this is something that was practiced like a long time ago. You could say pre-Egyptian, Sumerian type of times. And, they say in the books that Egyptians lived for thousands of years. And there's plenty of reasons to why they say that. But I have a feeling this is one of those reasons because, there's so much propaganda in this world with things like breakfast and shows and all of these things, but food in particularly, and how we eat and when we eat and how we break our fast. I think it all plays a huge role in longevity. If you've made it this far in the video, pat yourself on the back. You have something inside of you, and it's different. People are so addicted to the fast-paced dopamine that a video this long would not intrigue them. They would not care about any of the health or scientific benefits to a 72-hour fast or anything along those lines. So pat yourself on the back and understand that you have something inside of you that 90% of the population doesn't. If you watch this video and you feel inclined to try this out, which I hope you do, I think it's very extremely mentally and physically beneficial as far as pushing your limits and seeing how far you can push your body with your mind, because you quite simply can. You just don't want to. Some tips I would give you as far as preparation is already be used, maybe take a week or a couple of days to change your eating schedule. So as far as, so for about, it was 10 days before I started this, or 11 days. I was already fasting for 16 hours at least every single day, and including one 24-hour fast. So I was already more inclined to not eating as much food throughout the day, but eating a lot of food at once. So one tip I could give you is definitely adjust your body and your mind to eating within a certain period of time throughout the day, and cutting food at the same time or a certain time at night and only eating after a certain amount of time. It'll definitely help you out with this I guess you could say challenge. But also drinking a lot of water first thing when you wake up, throughout the day, obviously at night. Pink Himalayan salt as well to provide the nutrients and to hydrate your body. Our water nowadays is stripped of all the minerals, the natural minerals that our body needs and that our body originally had in the water. So pink Himalayan salt is great in the morning. You know, I just take about a thumbprint with some water. You know, I drink about, I'd say like 20 ounces, fluid ounces of water every morning. And it helps me with my energy and it helps me feel good throughout the day. So that's another thing. Get used to drinking a lot of liquids, and also research about potions, you know, herbal teas, natural, you know, things like chamomile and rosemary and lemon, and all of these things that are beneficial as far as giving you energy. Another thing is cut out the cold liquids. It's not good for your digestive. It's not good for your gut. If you want your body to work how it should properly, drink room temp or hot liquids. So go to Walmart, go to the closest store near you and find a kettle. I found mine for $15. I use it every single day. It's probably the best investment I've made, you know, to make herbal teas or to make just a warm lemon water to help my food digest, or, you know, anything. It's very good to drink warm water. It helps your gut. It flushes you out. It's definitely super beneficial. And one of the last things I want to talk about is how to break your fast. So when I break my fast, I always warm up some aloe vera juice in the kettle and I put a lemon in there. There's a stupid amount of benefits with aloe juice and lemon after a fast before you eat your food. It helps with your digestive. It helps with your gut. It kind of speeds up the process for you. So I just ate a meal, not even, what was it? Almost 3 hours ago, and I don't feel bloated. I don't feel tired. I don't feel any of these things. And walking after your meal is, of course, a key part of that. But I would say do your research and your due diligence on aloe juice and lemon after a fast. I know bone broth is great. I'm sure there's a lot of other things that are great. But personally, aloe juice and lemon is what works for me the best. You know, ever since I started doing this, I haven't felt bloated, or, you know, my digestive system hasn't felt overwhelmed. When I eat a lot of food at once, because I'm only eating 1 to maybe 2 meals a day. So yeah, look into that if you're really considering this, because you don't want to break your fast by just eating a ton of food. That's the worst thing you could do, especially if it's a day-to-day thing like it is for me. You know, you want to be breaking your fast the right way, because that matters more than the fast itself, you know. So all right, so that's it for this video. It's been a long time since I've just sat and talked to a camera, so this feels a little uncomfortable. That's a good thing though. I think that's amazing. That's what I need right now, in every aspect of my life, in business, in relationships, in every facet that you could think of. I think getting out of your comfort zone and doing something that you're somewhat unfamiliar with, or at the time unfamiliar with, is one of the best things you could do for yourself. So yeah, sorry if this wasn't super entertaining, but I hope you learned something from it, because I'm learning every single day as I go, and I hope you start doing the same, because I feel like the world is so caught up in a lie. There are so many lies, so many faulty narratives and faulty people spreading false information. I would definitely consider certain situations, like if you have certain health issues, I wouldn't just hop into a 72-hour fast. I mean, I wouldn't do it for anyone. I would definitely look into it. Try fasting for 16 hours. Try fasting for less than 24 hours for sure. Give it a shot. But obviously, there's differences with all of us. So, some future plans that I have as far as biohacking, I definitely think it would be a mountain to climb if I were to try a week fast, a full 7 days. But before I ate my meal on this 3rd day, I felt like I could do it. If I really wanted to do it, I feel like I could have if I just pushed through. I think I need more knowledge though on what drinks I should be drinking and how often I should be drinking them. But it's all a learning process. So just try things, learn things, figure it out, because you don't figure it out unless you try it. You gotta fail. You gotta go through the whole process of climbing up a ladder, getting knocked off of the ladder, falling off the ladder because of something you did. It's all part of the process. So just stay patient if you are gonna try one of these extensive fasts, but I definitely recommend it. Yeah. That's it.